Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Something slightly different to all the collectors out there. So I'm just off stamps for today because I've had a delivery of, it was last week actually, a delivery of some banknotes to add to my very small beginning. Can I actually find them? Here they are, which I've showed previously. When King Charles ascended the throne, I immediately went to the post office and asked for one of these, and indeed one of these, and then put them away. Eventually, they will revert from. It cost me £25. You know, I paid I paid £25, which is the face value of the note, and within, I would say, 30 years, they will be worth nothing. They'll be worth whatever collectors want to pay for them, basically, because all cash goes to dust. But I thought it would be nice to have a couple, just to be part of a collection. To add to my old Scotland, it's not that old, also my Reichsbank note, 500,000, and also a pretty messed up dollar. Those were the beginnings. Anyway, I went into good old eBay and I bought myself 10 world banknotes for the price of approximately £4.25. That includes postage. And I thought I would show them today and see what I had for my £4.25, including postage. So we start with this one here. Also got the tweezers. We need tweezers, do we not? It's got a nice little line there. Remember when we used to look at our notes, and if it had that line down it, 10 bob note, it was proved to be a real one, not a fake. So what have we got here? Hang on, I can hear the sirens going. Yeah. This is the central bank. Yeah, they're coming closer. They've got turned off. Okay, we'll turn this over. I'll use my fingers. I always wash my hands before touching my stuff. So we've got, luckily in English, the Central Bank of Myanmar, which I believe is in the Far East. And this is the value of 20 cats in their kyats in their currency. So they have the Joe there and they have the 20 there. So, yeah, it's in very okay condition, and I don't know if these are mint or uncirculated or produced simply for collections. I don't know. I don't even know what they're worth. But I do know that this note was in circulation. Not necessarily this one, but notes of this. You know what I mean. Were in circulation 1997. And it's a lovely note. It feels quite nice and substantial. Yeah, it's got some nice elephants there and things you'd expect from being in the Far East. The people, 4 or 5 people on the base of, I don't know, 1,000 steps up to some sort of temple maybe, or government building. Yeah, so that's quite nice. And on this side, we have some sort of animalistic god, maybe. It's a lovely note. And that's the first one. We'll go now to the second one, which is this beauty here. Smaller. So I'll just compare. We'll go compare the size of them. So this is smaller. It has a character here with a cap, looks slightly military. Again, good enough for them to put Bank Indonesia in English so that the likes of you and me, maybe you understand Indonesian language, I don't know. Forgive me if I'm wrong there, but it allows us, it gives me a chance anyway to identify what it is. And it's a 10 Sepulur Sen. 10 Sen. Long-haired person, possibly female. I would expect it to be female if it's got long hair. on a uniform? I don't know, is the answer. 1964. Very handy of it to be putting that there so we can have an idea about the date. And then on the back it's got the serial number, it's got the round thingy, and it's got writing in European script, but I think it's European script, but it's Indonesian language. But this is the 10 Sepula. We'll go to the next one, which has not quite been in the news. Well, this place has been in the news recently, Venezuela. I think it's been struggling with its currency. And this one is a 500 million. 500 million. And just to make sure that we get it, they've put it 4 times there. 500 million. And it's from the Banco Central de Venezuela. Wow. And it's actually 500 million Bolivares. And underneath we've got Casa de la Moneda, Venezuela. And it's got an old Venezuelan hero, general, featured there. It's got República Bolivariana de Venezuela. So 500 Bolivares. 3rd of September 2020, which identifies the date exactly when this was produced. And it's signed by the president of the bank and the prime vice president of the bank. And it's got a serial number. And it's worth probably nothing. I would say none of these are worth anything. They're out. They're no longer used, I would suggest. I mean, I don't know. But in our money, in royal money, in Gross Britannia, in Great Britain, if you were to take it to a bank, you're not getting anything back. Actually, you can't take it to the bank because we don't have banks. So if you were to take it to the post office, I think they'd just hand it back to you. So that's the Venezuelan beauty. Next up, we've got, wow, you can't beat a bit of nature. And this has been a double hit for me. A double, not hit, but a double bonus for me. I collect Everest stuff. And this is an Everest note. And there's Mount Everest. There's a temple. And there's stuff which we can't decipher, but on the other side we can decipher Nepal, Rashtra, Bank. And here we have a mountain goat, and this is rupees 5 or 5 rupees, and it's got the date which is 2020. So this enters my Everest collection and my note collection. In fact, what I will do is I will actually put this with my Everest collection in that section of my collection. So I'm really happy to receive that. We'll have a look at how much these would cost individually after, if you were to buy them individually, but that's a nice little buy for me. Within 10, and to have an Everest note. Here we've got 10. Is it 10 or 90? It's actually 10. And you've got there. So maybe wherever this place is, they write 10. Slightly different. We'll turn it over to see if there's any clues here about where we could be. 10. I know where it is because I did a slight bit of research. We've got horses, we've got Russian type script, we've got also Asiatic faces. So what I'm looking at here, what you and me are looking at here, is Mongolia. It's a banknote, 2002. It is a 10 Togrog. 10 Togrog. And of course it's got its own language, and it's got a bit of the Russian language, Togrog. Yeah, very nice. Next one, please. We have, this is the Russian bank. So you've got Russian stuff going on here, Russian language. It is actually a 5 rubles note, and it's from the year 1997. Luckily, they put the year on, and also the 5 in English, so that the likes of you and me can understand. Yeah, because money is international, and it's in good condition. It's fun. Next we go to Republika Hrvatska, Zagreb, Listopada, 1991. So what we're looking at here with Zagreb is Croatia. 10 dinara, or is it dinari? Dinara, I would suggest. Here we have Oruga Bobkovic, who was a mathematician, or possibly he was something to do with space, and I don't know. It looks maths to me. And Minister Financia. So that's a nice little thing. Deset Krefstinus Danara, Croatia, and there's the shield of plenty. Next we go to war type creature, saints, sinners. Again, it seems to be Soviet type script. Maybe if we turn it over, there's more clues going on. What have we got here? It doesn't really tell us anything here in English. 2014. But what I can tell you is this is a Ukrainian note. So it's from the Ukraine. So we've got Russia and Ukraine in perfect harmony in this particular collection. Again, a nice note. It's a 1 hryvnia. 1 hryvnia note. You don't get many of those for the pound. We're coming to the end here quickly now. Only 2 more to go. We are still remaining in the old Soviet bloc. And unfortunately, I cannot read the script of the Russians. But I put AI on it, and it tells me that it's the Moldavian Republic. And this is a 1 ruble. The P is the R, the Y is the U. That is a B ruble. So they kept the rubles basically for the split up of the Soviet republics when they split from the USSR. They all split asunder. This is the year 2007. Yeah. And finally, there's always an unfinally moment. And here we have a fine-looking gentleman, which tells me that it's again going towards, the very edge of Eastern Europe. Can we see? He looks more modern. And this is a 2011 note. It's 10, and this gives us a little bit of a clue here. Serbia. So it's the National Bank of Serbia that we're looking at here. It's a 10 dinara, or dinari. Dinara, I think it is. Yes, it says so there. Deset dinara. So they've got it in the English script and also in the Russian script, which is nice. Deset dinara. And it's got glasses, spectacles there. Maybe eye treatment. Possibly this gentleman was famous with regards to eyes. The eyes have it. Yeah, 2013 is the year. 2013, so Beograd again points to Serbia. So those are my notes which I have received. Now, if I was to buy them individually, and they all are for sale individually on eBay, what would it cost? Well, postage 87p if you're lucky. And for one of these, it would be anything from 99p up to about £1.50, £1.70. Some a little bit higher, but it would basically be, you know, you could say average a couple of quid to get them in your hand if you were to buy them individually. So 10 would cost you 20 squid if you were buying individually. Now, I bought random, so I'm not in control of what I'm buying, which is a downside. But the good side is, for £4.25, I get 10 of them. Now, if I was to buy another 10, am I getting doubles? Then it becomes a bit of a problem, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these away, get them all written up and stuff, maybe get a little bit more information, and then consider whether I want to continue. Maybe one note per country, that would be something, wouldn't it? Anyway, that's a little bit of a deviation from stamps. I'll be back to stamps tomorrow, and I'll talk to you soon. I hope you've enjoyed this, and it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Collecting is fun, and it's harmless, and nobody got hurt. Thanks for watching, everyone, and bye for now.